Dry and boring, difficult and confusing, none of it makes sense. This is how most people think about finance. Some others will say, I'm not a numbers person. But the truth that successful and wealthy have cracked is that you have to learn to be comfortable with numbers if you want to live a life of freedom to do what you love, eat what you want, have your dream family lifestyle, and have all the good things in life. Finance should be one of the best and most exciting topics, and not one of the most boring topics. After all, the reason why people wake up every day and grind is to become financially stable and independent. But before one can become financially stable and independent, there is a need for financial education. Instead of this being taught from childhood, it is often overlooked, causing some serious adverse effects on the overall well-being of many people. Finance and its related topics like accounting, investment, savings, and taxes are among the last things people's schools are willing to teach their students. Instead of spending their time discussing finance, they would rather do something else. There are several opinions why finance is considered a boring topic, but the most common ones are as follows. First, it is seen to be complicated and confusing. People who teach finance and other related topics often explain technical stuff to non-technical people in jargon and technical language. It is a general notion that most people think mathematics is very difficult, and explaining it to people can be very frustrating and annoying. Since finance involves most of these mathematical calculations and jargon, it doesn't look easy. Also, some of the terms need to be clarified. Also, there is the notion that if people can handle my finances for me, why should I waste my time learning it? Due to technology, there are people worldwide who can help you file your tax returns. Apps like TaxAct Express and QuickBooks that can help you draw your budget, estimate cash flow, and most of the other technical stuff. Therefore, most people no longer see the importance of learning finance, something already considered boring. For example, a medical doctor has so much on their plate that instead of wasting time learning about finance, they would instead hire a finance professional. Lastly, people don't see the need. Other than all the above reasons, people just don't see the need to learn about finance. They generally lack interest in the topic, and anything related to it is considered dry and boring. No matter how attractive it becomes, there is no appeal to them. But is it true that finance is boring? Finance is not a boring and dry topic at all. Indeed, it is one of the most active and exciting topics to discuss. Getting a good background or understanding of finance can be a game changer. It shapes how you see life and informs how you make certain decisions, especially the ones related to money. Finance is considered boring for many reasons, but those boring things are the things that bring in money. Filing your taxes is boring until you miss something and get into financial trouble, but sticking to the boring will keep you away from trouble. First off, finance is not boring because it involves using your brain. To become good in finance, you need to know how to think critically and on your feet. For example, if you receive your salary at the end of the month, you sit down to critically assess what you need to spend your money on and what you don't need yet. Also, finance makes you your own boss. Everyone good in finance knows that they oversee their own life. This means they are their own boss, and so they treat themselves well. If you are financially independent, you don't need help from anyone, and it is this drive that pushes them to work even harder and make smart decisions about your finances. They understand that before enjoying everything they desire, they must make sacrifices. Finance makes it possible for this to happen, so where is it boring? Lastly, finance gets interesting as you get to understand it well. The main reason why most people do not find interest in finance is because of the understanding. When taught well, understanding finance is easy and straightforward. The only way to achieve this is through proper education, like this. Finance is not only about the numbers. If it was that alone, some apps and computers could do that, but the main thing is understanding. For example, it is very easy to know that assets bring you money and liabilities take away your money. This is not rocket science. Finance is indeed not boring and dry. Knowing your personal finance can enrich your life in many ways. When people understand how to make money and attract revenue from different streams, they find interest in finance. 5 important lessons of financial knowledge that will enrich your life. Number 1. Understand how to deal with debt. Universal class defines debt as an amount of cash borrowed by a person from another person, a financial institution, or the government. For example, if you go to your friend for $50, you have a debt of $50 plus any interest your friend may require that you pay. That's easy, right? Wrong. There is more to debt than that. Having knowledge of finance can help you understand and deal with debt. If you know the effects of debt, you will not be interested in entering debt in the first place. Most people have debt they might never be able to pay until they die. In the United States, it may take anywhere between 10 to 30 years for students to repay their loans. This means most people will have to sacrifice the quality of life they need to pay just a simple debt they owe the government. Finance will teach you not to enter debt in the first place because coming out is very difficult. Most rich people take loans from the bank and use the loan to invest in assets, pay back the loan, and make decent profits from it. Even though this is debt, debt is not really a bad thing, provided you can come out of it. Someone with $2 million in his or her bank account can take a loan of $1 million and invest in a property. The loan will then be spread across installments for an agreed period. What happens is that they earn monthly rent from the property and use part of that to pay for the loan, and the remaining is their profit. So instead of rich people spending their money, they use debt to invest in assets. This wouldn't be possible without knowledge of personal finance. Number 2, know what matters to you. Prioritization is the basic principle of finance. What this means is that finance teaches you the importance of prioritization and how, when done well, it can enrich your life. As you learn more about personal finance, you understand your finances. You know where your money comes from, how much comes from each avenue, how long they last for you, and what takes away your money. With this knowledge, you will know where to cut down your expenses and remove the things that are not beneficial to you. Without this knowledge, you may see everything as the same and, in return, waste your money on the things that don't even matter. According to Investopedia, low financial literacy has left the millennials, the largest workforce in America, unprepared for a severe financial crisis. This means if there is a big financial crisis, America's workforce will take a big blow to the face. Number 3. Investing in your early years. Many people are unaware of the importance of investing, so they spend their money now and suffer in the future. If you want to enjoy a better life in the future, you need to invest very early on. This is what most people are not taught in schools and other institutions, investing in your early years when you may not need much money to do anything. Research from the University of Minnesota shows that 4 in 10 adults, when faced with an unexpected expense of $400, would either borrow the money or sell something to cover the expense. Do you want to live your life like this? If not, then you need to understand the importance of investing. As a young worker, when you invest your money, by the time you are old and retire, you will have enough money to be financially independent and stable by the time you're old and you retire. What a promising future that will look like. Investment mogul Warren Buffett in 1999 said that compound interest is an investor's best friend and compared building wealth through interest to rolling a snowball down a hill. Unlike normal savings, where you earn simple interest, investment earns you compound interest. He quotes, "Start early. I started building this little snowball at the top of a very long hill. The trick to have a very long hill is either starting very young or living to be very old." Number 4. Family planning. Both our family background and the family we build determines a lot about our finances. If you plan on starting a family someday, then your knowledge in finance will help you put measures in place so you can create a good life for you and your family in the future. There are several plans, like college funds, where you can start saving money towards your children's education, specifically college. This is a good initiative because when started early, by the time your children are ready to go to college, you will have enough money to support them and prevent them from suffering from debt. One of the worst feelings is when you start a family and cannot cater to them. Knowledge of finance will prevent any of this from happening in the future. Apart from that, your knowledge of expenses can even help you cut down costs in your family and save up more money to be stable. Number 5. Build a legacy. Financial knowledge is transferable. If you know anything about finance and financial literacy, you can also teach other people. As a father, you can teach your children about financial literacy. It will be a part of their growing up. This way, you always sleep peacefully, knowing that your children are financially stable. Even if you are no more, your legacy will always be with those you impart their lives, and you will always be remembered as someone who made a change. Your knowledge in finance may be to make some future investments so that even if you are not alive, your surviving family can benefit from it. That's the best gift you can give your family and the legacy you should aim for. If you understand the need for wealth creation and personal finance, the next generation would not have to work as hard as you did because the foundation has been set already. Families like the Waltons and the Rothschilds are among some of the richest families that are benefiting from the wealth created by their family members. Financial education and financial literacy shouldn't be boring and dry. If you know the importance of it, it will encourage them to take the initiative and master it. Educating yourself about financial literacy will help you live a life full of happiness and peace. Take the first step today and learn about how you can manage your finance. You're better late than never. Did you already start investing, or do you have some important advices to give? We'd love to hear about your experiences. Please leave your story below in the comments. So, subscribe to Ape Finance, and we will see you in the next video.